Welcome back to the continuing adventures of the monad. We made a start in the previous presentation to introduce the concepts of who or what the hierarchy are and what they may get up to on a quiet afternoon. Let us now turn our attention to the development of the hierarchy itself. It is often quoted that life is about transformation, being achieved through new kinds of experiences. This expands upon the relationship that life forges. If development crystallizes and becomes stagnant, consciousness development is hampered. This is why civilizations are born, mature, and then die. In this case, as below, so above. This applies to the planetary hierarchy. Were you to meet this institution 2,000 years ago, you would find it not to be as knowledgeable as it is today. Worlds 43 to 46 have vastly increased their knowledge base. The hierarchy divides itself into two teams. There are the researchers who deepen the knowledge of their worlds. And then there are the teachers who impart the knowledge to other monads further down the chain. Lawrence tells us that no one is born a teacher. It is not enough to just comprehend and understand for yourself. There is an art to facilitating the transfer of knowledge to others. It takes numerous incarnations to perfect the ability to teach. The omniscience of a world and in a world is something you must acquire for yourself. Another option is that this knowledge has been communicated to you and you have to re-examine it. Astrologers can sometimes take a bad rap. But guess what? The hierarchy has a whole department of them. It is their job to ascertain the quality and quantities of ray energies coming in from the cosmos, the planets, and other solar systems, and then work out how judiciously to use these energies to further evolution in the lower kingdoms. Once a monad reaches the level that the Buddha did after taking the I-8, when he took his consciousness cosmic, there are 7 alternatives for further consciousness development. The monad is now in world 42. What will it do next, and in which cosmic department? A little background history. Our solar system makes up a cosmic globe. Think about that. We were previously talking about our planet being comprised of 49 globes. And in fact, if you look at the bigger picture, that chain is part of a scheme that represents the evolution of our planetary logos. Well, think now of our solar system being one unit that is part of 6 other units, 6 other solar systems. The choice the 42 self makes when picking a department will decide which of these systems they will move to and continue their evolution. The Lord Buddha was supposed to move to Sirius, but chose to stay here because he was worried that we were going to completely blow it. So, rather than moving off, he chose to stay, and that meant he had one place to go, into the planetary government currently headed by Sanat Kumara. There is another option, and that is to enter as a neophyte into the solar systemic government under the direction of the solar logos. Now, here is a sobering thought. The 3 highest cosmic kingdoms that comprise atomic worlds 1 to 7, 8 to 14, and 15 to 21, can be safely omitted from all further expositions according to Lawrency. Apparently, not even the planetary hierarchy knows anything about them other than they exist and are grounds and causes for all cosmic manifestation. Monads that have achieved the highest levels of consciousness within our universe have no contact with those in the worlds of our solar system 43 to 49. They fulfill no functions in the four lowest cosmic kingdoms 22 to 28, 29 to 35, 36 to 42, and 43 to 49. This makes complete nonsense of the tall tales that there is only one God, and he happened to appear to Moses as a burning bush. Okay, so let's now look at the 7 parallel evolutions and their attendant hierarchies. Let's divide the hierarchy into 2 groups again. This time, we will categorize them as those monads that focus on the matter aspect and those that focus on the motion aspect. They focus their energies on the evolution of billions of monads who are at various stages of development. These monads are on various evolutionary paths. We have talked about the fact that there are 7 evolutionary paths possible for monads to evolve along in our solar system. Lawrency informs us that it is only rebel humanity that refuses, to its own detriment, to participate in the evolutionary work. This is what makes life the hell it is on our planet. Back to those 7 parallel streams of evolution. They each have their own distinct supervising hierarchy. Now, our planetary hierarchy has just got a lot more involved. There are, therefore, 7 hierarchies involved in evolution on our planet, containing monads from world 46 upwards. So, now we should be clear that the planetary hierarchy mentioned in esoteric literature just refers to the monads supervising the human evolutionary stream. This hierarchy also focuses on consciousness development in all the 4 lowest kingdoms of nature. The 7 hierarchies mentioned all belong to the planetary government. This tertiary body is common to all on the planet. The hierarchies can thus be viewed as an executive body carrying out the directives of the planetary government. Lawrency tells us that the planetary hierarchy's sphere of activity is within the consciousness aspect concerning the consciousness development in human individuals, nations, races, as well as in lower natural kingdoms. The tasks that fall within the law of reaping belong to the Diva hierarchy. The Diva evolution within our planetary system, comprising about 2 billion individuals as compared to the 60 billion of mankind. Its tasks belong to the matter and the motion aspects. Humanity cannot contact it. Of these 200 billion divas, we are particularly interested in 2 groups: the Agoides, solar angels, and the Protogonai. They may be divas, but they directly cooperate with the hierarchy, and a very good thing too, or we would have to build our 2 crucial envelopes they supply us for furthering our evolution. Another group Lawrency tells us about is the Nirmanakayas, which is a common term used to describe a series of successively higher beings, the lowest ones being essential selves, 46 cells, whose function is to scale down the cosmic energies into systemic and planetary ones. They serve, to use a technical term, as transformers and accumulators. They do not concern themselves with individuals or their consciousness development. The planetary hierarchy is a perfect organization. By this is meant that everybody knows their place without appointments. No orders are given in the hierarchy because no orders are needed. The general plan is discussed at conferences at which all put forward their viewpoints until all are clear about what they have to do. The principles which follow automatically from the laws of life are self-evident. If questions arise which require higher insight, the answers are received immediately. Other requisite knowledge can be obtained from the subconscious of the higher selves without the need of taking up their attention. Common knowledge in every world exists in its globe memory. A 45 self can instantly get to know everything he does not know about anything in worlds 45 to 49. World 45 is the lowest world that is common to all the planets in the solar system. The structure of the planetary hierarchy is divided into 7 departments in the 5th kingdom and 3 in the 6th kingdom. This organization only refers to the serving officers of the hierarchy, of which there is a handful. The reality is that there are representatives of all 7 departments in all the worlds of the hierarchy. So, if you have to characterize the hierarchy, you would say it is a civil service that has grades of officers that were mandated to supervise biological as well as consciousness development. They themselves are supervised by a board of directors, the planetary government. Again, as below, so above. The 6 higher cosmic kingdoms have 6 higher kinds of government, all perfected long ago. Of interest to many is the function of the 2nd department of the hierarchy, which is known as the Department of Education. Don't confuse this with educational institutions that you have interacted with. This department sets out to impart causal ideas to guide the consciousness development of humanity. Lawrence tells us that there is a complete reorganization of the hierarchy underway. Part of this has been discussed in the series on discipleship, where 45 selves no longer take on aspirants as disciples. We apparently are going to receive a wave of monads that are at the 4 compassionate 47-4, enlightened 47-1, and essential 46-1 stages of development. Their job will be to lead in every walk of life. But the biggest winners are going to be the aspirants, who are going to have access to training schools, eventually, that will facilitate their consciousness expansion. Something to look forward to in our next few incarnations. In the next presentation, we will examine the consciousness of the planetary hierarchy. Thank you very much.